What it do? What it do? Welcome to another one for Al Cuerpo Boxing, to the body. So let's get with it. Let's talk some boxing. Damn, man, you know what? Recently, my vision's kind of been on the down low. I don't know. Maybe at my age, I gotta start. Maybe might have to get some what do they call it? The LASIK. I gotta fix my eyes, man. Sometimes when there's too much what do they call it? When the blood pressure is high, I guess it could affect vision, but I don't know. For me, it's always like seasonal, man. I'll get like blurred vision from afar, and then a month later, it's perfect. So, whatever. Anyways, let's talk some boxing, guys, man. So, what's up with Terrence Crawford, man? So right now, this is a very interesting situation because I'm for Crawford to ask for whatever he wants. And this is probably going to be a long stream, man, because I got a lot to say about this. And it kind of ties into Teofimo Lopez, all right? And I guess the Saudi money, okay? So for those of you that know me, I've been saying it more than anybody in the game. More than anybody in the game. I've been saying, take that, steal that Saudi money. However way you can, just take the money, man, because the Saudis are just throwing it like candy. So I can't hate on that for anybody that wants a big bag. Hells no, take it. Take it. And that's why you guys know, for the longest I was saying, yo, David Benavidez, he's got to go over to the Saudis, to Turkey, and make that real money. And guess what? Months later, he does it, right? Because you ain't going anywhere on the other side, and you ain't making as big bags as those Saudi events, okay? So anyways, Terrence Crawford, man, the recent news is that homeboy is asking for $100 million from one of his mates, one of his side trainers, Bernie the boxer, is saying that Crawford ain't gonna do it unless it's for $100 million. You know. Now it could quite possibly be, guys. It could quite possibly be that Bernie is the type of person that whatever he says, and he says it conservatively and responsibly, Crawford's not going to complain. In other words, Bernie's got Crawford's back, and Crawford trusts that. So it could quite possibly be that Bernie just said that, and that's not really what Crawford's been truly seeking. I mean, they might have discussed it, but Crawford might know that, but that may not be possible. Depends on how realistic Crawford is, right? So think about it. Bernie the boxer benefits, right? Bernie the boxer and the Crawford camp, they get to benefit from, of course, any $100 million call out. Of course, it would make sense for them to do so, right? They get a nice cut from it. But at the same time, it could also be like hardball, right? So Crawford goes high. And by the way, Crawford's using like the Canelo playbook and others before him, right? Let's say even the Tyson Fury who's always asking for exuberant amounts of money even before he went with Turkey Al-Sheikh, but he got his $100 million plus. So it could quite possibly be that in Crawford's team, they're going very high, so that way Turkey and the Saudis can go a bit lower, right? Let's say 50 million, if that, you know, because it was to my shock that in the official books, even though I know Crawford got a bit more, you know, on the down low, but on the official record books, Crawford, he earned $10 million for the Canelo fight. Does he deserve more? Absolutely. Of course, absolutely. Why? Because I might be biased to wanting the rematch. So, from my standpoint, I want the rematch no matter what. So, it's kind of up to Turkey and it's up to Crawford. Because who does Crawford fight next, guys? Yo, I'm going to say it like this, guys. This is realism. The Saudis, the Turks, they ain't going to pay Crawford more than $25 million or $20 million for some other cat. They're just not. We can already see the pattern. Unless you're like a heavyweight and you're as big as Canelo, no pun intended, but they ain't going to dish out that much for Crawford, man. So Crawford's going to have to make a choice. Does Crawford wait for, let's say, the winner of of Lara and Janibek and make, let's say, a 20 mil bag? Does he wait for that fight? Or does Crawford take his chance and say, you know what? Okay, I'm going to do the Canelo rematch, but I'm going to do no less than 40 or 50 million. And that's doable. I mean, to be honest, man, I wouldn't mind if Crawford makes 100 million. I would say, hell's yeah, take them Saudis' money, man. If you can't take it, but at the same time, Bud Crawford, don't miss out if you can get 40 or 50 million. Don't miss out on that, man. That's a lot of money. And if you really believe you can beat Canelo the second time around, because I don't think it's gonna be on DAZN this time, guys. For those listening, I mean Netflix. Sorry, for those that are listening, focus on this: that if Crawford does get more than 50 million and it's not on Netflix and Riyadh season has to satisfy Canelo and Crawford's bag, they might have to take it to pay-per-view, guys. Even though the Saudis can possibly cover it, the Saudis might be like, okay, you know what? Let me see what Eddie Hearn's about, or the DAZN crew. Okay, let's do it on home turf anyways, and we'll do it on DAZN again, and we'll do a pay-per-view. So that way, everybody wins in a way. DAZN wins, the ultimate pass, guys. Think about this, guys. Right now, DAZN's ultimate pass, they might be down to sponsoring or funding up the money for Canelo Crawford, as Netflix did supposedly, right? But it's really hard to know, man, how much the Saudis really put into that Netflix event, because the Saudis got money, guys. The Saudis got money. Saudis are paying Cristiano Ronaldo close to 500 million, man, for 2 years in Saudi Arabia for no attendance, guys. Of course, we know soccer's big. Ronaldo's big time, man. Ronaldo's like the third or fourth biggest paid athlete of all time, man. Cristiano Ronaldo. So these numbers are justified. But Terence Crawford, guys, it may be perceived, guys, and this is why I bring up Teofimo Lopez, man. Shout out to Teofimo Lopez, because Teofimo Lopez, now think about this. I'm going to get sidetracked here. For those of you that truly believe that Crawford deserves his, let's say, 5 to 10 times amount than his 10 million from Canelo, if you guys truly believe he earned that and is worth it and he deserves it, well, then how can you deny that Teofimo Lopez, who showed up in Times Square, Teofimo Lopez, who was the only guy in the card that showed up in that fight, amazing fight with Barboza. He's still the ring belt champion, guys. If anything, he's representing the ring belt with the Saudis before Crawford, right? So, 8 million for the Haney fight was devalued from 12 million. Come on, guys. What's going on here? So now, Teofimo Lopez is making 12 million for Shakur Stevenson if the fight actually is official, right? So he went up 4 million. So Teofimo Lopez is doing the exact same type of meritocracy of what Bud thinks he should be getting, right? He wants 100 million for Canelo. So for those of you that mock, any situation that Crawford's in right now, if you're mocking Teofimo Lopez's previous situation, then you don't know the business side of boxing. That's just the truth of it, all right? So guys, where do we go from here, man? I mean, it's really right now the ball is in Crawford's court. There's a lot of pressure on Crawford right now because Crawford is like the key master for the Mexican date. Crawford right now has the opportunity, guys, to steal the Mexican date with Canelo, steal it from Zurdo and David Benavidez. So a lot of pressure's on Crawford right now. I mean, Crawford's in a good situation. Don't get me wrong, but Crawford's gonna have to decide in the next 6 months of activity, if that, he's got to decide, guys. Do I wait for the winner of Lara and Janamick and make, let's say, 20 million plus, or do I just go for the Canelo bag and make 50 million, or let's say even 100 million? I don't know, but it just seems maybe, and I'm gonna give Crawford benefit of doubt that right now he's just playing hardball. I have other theories, guys. I have other theories. If it's on DAZN, it's not on Netflix. Yo, best believe Crawford and the whole Team USA better be spooked this time around, guys. May he rest in peace. May rest in peace, Victor Conte. He ain't around no more, guys. I don't believe the snack regimen is anywhere near than what Conte could do, because Conte was the mastermind. He's the one that had the pull of the strings with Vada. I don't really care about the source of the material of the doping. I don't really care much about that. I'm talking about Victor Conte's pull in association with and doing the protocol with Vada, Margaret Goodman, if anything. So it could be, guys, that here forward, ever since, may he rest in peace, Victor Conte, that Vada doesn't look at Snack the way they used to. Why? Because Victor Conte ain't part of the game anymore, man. Victor Conte had a lot of respectable knowledge in the game, but he ain't around. So who could take? That's why I said before, I made a video before, who did he pass the torch to? Who did he pass the torch to? There is no more Victor Conte. And nobody could do it as good as Victor Conte anymore. And I don't really care so much about talking about the sources, the supplements, because to be fair, everybody worldwide is on some gear, man. So it's not really about the source. It's about who's pulling the strings for the sources, right? And that goes again with Vada, guys. So let me see if I got a. Damn, my bad. I didn't even have the chat box there. My bad, guys. My bad. I'll probably have to do another one in Spanish. Anyways, what was I gonna say? So yeah, guys. I mean, hopefully, Bud can do the rematch. I want the rematch. Yo, Hassan Edit says hello, bro. What up, though? Has Hassan Bey? Hassan, shout out to Hassan. My fellow Turks. Yo, Hassan Bey, who you got today? Fenerbahce or Galatasaray? For those of you that don't know, it's a big derby match today. It's Galatasaray versus Fenerbahce. And right now it's about to be lit in my neighborhood, but I don't really follow ball, man, but I got FB, Fenerbahce all day. Anyways, and again, guys, that's what I'm saying about Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez, I think he deserves a lot of respect on his part, man, because Teofimo Lopez, yo, man, I can't wait till we start talking about Shakur versus Lopez, man. That's a big mega fight. To me, Lopez Shakur is as good as Canelo Crawford rematch. What else? What else is on the line? Benavidez, Zurdo Ramirez, man, there's some good fights in 26, man. It's going to be a great year of boxing. Let me read this other one. He says Galatasaray 3-1. Ha, okay. Yeah, so my guy's going with Galatasaray. 3-1. Yeah, Hassan edits. Hey, Hassan, what's the guy in Fenerbahce, the Mexica Adam in Fenerbahce? Yo, for those that know, there's in my home turf, in my club, in my neighborhood club, there's a Mexican cat on Fenerbahce. I'll do that one in Spanish, but you guys don't know. Yeah, yo, Hassan Bey, this is Cuerpo. Angel. No, let me know what you guys think, man. Crawford, I mean, how much do you think Crawford's worth? Is he worth $100 million for the Canelo rematch? Nah, man. Hey, I will say this. He ain't worth no $100 million, but should he get $100 million? Absolutely, man. Yo, but take that money if you can, man. Go high. Take that Canelo book. You know your value, know your worth. As Teofimo Lopez would do, know your worth, man. Don't settle for less. You know, if anything, I'll say this: if Crawford made $10 million for the last Canelo fight and some other, things on the side, I say Crawford should get at least no less than $30 million for Canelo. No less than $30 million for Canelo. Hassan Bey says, I'm Turkish. Yeah, we know Hassan. Biliyoruz Hassan, man. Hassan don't know that. Oh, man, my back be hurting this whole ass month, man. I need to go to the doctor, get my lungs checked, man. Ever since my last semi-flu, you got to get your lungs checked, just in case, because I think the COVID did a lot of scar tissue, in my opinion, man. So, Puro Sur, he says, Edson Alvarez. Yeah, so Puro Sur is giving an answer to my previous question about some Mexican cat on Fenerbahce. And you know what? Puro, my tía del DF, she says, oye, Ángel, ¿quién es el jugador mexicano que está? Oh, no. Dice, Ángel, ¿te gusta ese mexicano que está en ese club de Turquía, el Fenerbahce? Y le dije a mi tía, pues realmente yo no lo sigo el fútbol, pero yeah, she knows. And Puro too, he says, unless Turkey gonna pay, he not getting 100 million. Yeah. So Puro is another boxing aficionado. He knows the business. Puro knows, and he would agree with me. I mean, Crawford, he's not worth 100 million, pero because maybe Puro knows and others know, I want that rematch hardcore. Canelo deserves his lip back. And let me say this too before I forget, okay? Because I was thinking about this earlier. I didn't get a chance to say it on another live. But the only cat that has really respected Canelo's game as far as rematches, even though they were controversial, was Triple G. That's the only guy that give him rematches. And probably Puro knows this and other cats know. I always say this. For me, guys, for me personally, and maybe realistically, Canelo comes good in rematches. He comes the second time around, you know? So, Mayweather didn't want it. Mayweather could have taken Cotto's belt again for middleweight. He could have done Canelo. He could have done another massive pay-per-view. Mayweather being the money man, he didn't want the Canelo rematch for some odd reason, whatever. And then comes Bivol. Dimitri Bivol also playing hardball. He didn't even want to give Canelo the rematch at 175. He wanted a 168. Again, other antics. So here comes Crawford's time now, man. Crawford, please, man. Do the rematch. It's kind of a paradox because if Crawford, if he knows, man, making a big bag is important, man. Oh, it's generational wealth, man. Crawford needs to make more money. If he wants to make somewhat the semi-Canelo and Mayweather type of effect money, he's got to do the rematch. And don't price yourself out, man. I'm down for 30 or 40 million tops, maybe. Who am I to say? I don't got Turkey's money. If you want 100 million and Turkey could do it, orale pues, let's do it. But let's be realistic. Don't be careful on pricing yourself out. And going for greatness in the rematch. Remember, Hagler said, yo, what's up with Sugar Ray? He didn't give him a rematch. And then Sugar Ray goes on to fight Dali Lalonde, and then he loses to Terry Norris. I mean, if that's Crawford's destiny, if you don't mind losing to Janabek or Lara, orale pues. Let me replay this bad boy. Here we go. Let me read this real fast. Puro said, oh yeah, he goes, Hassan says, goodbye, bro. Guru Shurus. Yeah, Hassan Bey. Guru Shurus, man. Shout out to Hassan Bey. Hassan Bey. So, I don't know, man. It's just, again, Bivol, Mayweather, they didn't want to give Canelo the rematch. But more importantly, guys, the context. The context. For me, the reason why Mayweather avoided the rematch with Canelo is because I don't think Mayweather, let me see, Canelo would have been, what, 24? No, Canelo became champion at 25 or 26 of age when he fought Golovkin. Remind me, guys. I want to say Canelo was 26 when he beat, or 25 when he beat Golovkin, so he was the new middleweight champion. Oh, my bad. He beat Cotto for the middleweight strap, so Canelo became middleweight champion at 25 years old. So Mayweather, he said Canelo was easy work. He could have given Canelo the rematch and said, you know what? Let's do it at 155, right? That was the supposedly Canelo weight. But Mayweather didn't want to do that because I think Mayweather was a bit afraid of Canelo being a bit stronger and rejuvenated. And Canelo would have had, he would have had some pull because he was the middleweight champion, right? So he beats Golovkin also, and then Mayweather still doesn't want that work. And then here comes Bivol years later. Bivol beats him too. Not so much the way Crawford did, but Bivol outbeats him. So if Bivol wanted another badass payday, he should have done the Canelo rematch, guys. I'm trying to help Crawford out here on how to evaluate this situation because Crawford's in a win-win situation. The only downside is that if he wants to make the big bag again, he's got to be a bit realistic, guys. And that's the title of the video. Like, how much is Crawford's worth, guys? Let me read some stuff. Puro says, I don't know the business, but seems like Turkey gonna be involved because Azteca reported the negotiations. Yeah. And then also Puro says that's Canelo long-standing TV partner. So let me remind some fans here that Canelo he was very upset with the Netflix deal. Canelo was upset because Netflix did not allow Canelo the rights to give the Mexican fans the fight for free on national television. That's a story, guys. That was facts. So Canelo was pissed off about that, guys. This was the first time, guys. Just think about Canelo's psyche, all right? This was Canelo's biggest payday ever. Biggest payday, man. They got 150 million. On the downside of that, he couldn't give the Mexican fans the fight unless, I guess, Mexican fans had to sign up for Netflix. That was the drawback. And, that would have been like a 50 million viewership easily if it was for free, easily. But he couldn't deliver that for the Mexican crowd. And I think that's one thing that bothered Canelo in this fight. Would that have affected performance? Probably not, obviously. But you guys know me. I have my theories. Netflix didn't even show. I don't even want to talk about that stuff because fans are going to call it excuses. But I call it a bit of realism. But whatever, man. Let bygones be bygones. Let the rematch come. Let the revancha come. And let's see if Crawford try and pose that same type of strategy again. I say Canelo comes tip top the second time around. And trust me, man. Let me read this. He says, Puro says not enough time for Floyd rematch, and then also did not allow his ring walk or the Mexican national anthem. Yeah, that was an interesting one too. Is that Netflix? See, now Puro may not. I mean, Puro says he doesn't know the business side of it, which he does, but we don't really have to talk about that. But Puro does know. Puro Sur does know about the politics. Trust me, that guy knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. He knows American politics. And I'll say this: that for me. See how Netflix allows Jake Paul to troll demographics. Literally, that's what it is. I mean, Netflix, I don't know what their game is, man. I don't know if they're naive or whatever, but Netflix doesn't mind that Jake Paul control the demographics of Americana. That's what it is. So, how much was Netflix really involved about the culture, right? I mean, it's weird, man, because I know Netflix, they even took down Crawford's. I think Crawford did like a cover of the Desperado track. I don't know if that was a rights issue from the original guys from Desperado, but I mean, it's a cover, man. It shouldn't be bad. So Puro said they didn't. Yeah, and that was weird because Canelo didn't have his infamous entrance. Yeah, man. Yo, that's why I say, guys, I don't want no Netflix. And then on top of that, Puro knows this, man. I'm like probably the only one that's really disclosed or noticed it. Does it make a difference? Who knows? I don't really care. But Andre Ward, Mark Kriegel, I mean, yo, this was pro Team USA. If it was gonna go about scorecard theory for the broadcast and fans, they're not gonna hook up Canelo on the cards, man. And it was even off because Andre Ward gave Canelo rounds 1 and 4. The broadcast did it, and other fans they're saying, wait a minute. I was trolling fans. I said, yo, did you guys give Crawford rounds? Canelo rounds 1 and 4, and they're like, hell's no. And I said, guess what? Andre Ward did, and they were kind of quiet about it. And the Puro says, did you see Kopi cooking yesterday? She was commenting, oh yeah. I think you mean in the morning, yeah, because this morning I saw Kopi was doing something on El Profesor del Boxeo. I was gonna join, but I don't know what was up this morning. I was doing so many errands this morning. Pero right now I think it's like a las 7 de la mañana. It's like 7 in the morning, I think, for Puro. Because I know he's Mexicali time, like the West Coast. So he's an early riser ahorita. But yeah, man, I mean that's what I got for this one, Puro. I don't know. I might do this one in a bit in Espanol. In Spanish, in Español. Yeah, he says, oh, boxeo atómico. Says, qué rollo, Puro, y al cuerpo. Oye, así, atómico. I was watching atómico en la mañana con el pro. El boxeo atómico was going at it with well, he wasn't going at it, pero this other good guy, I don't know, his weird, Miguelito Perre. Atómico was going at it with this other Boricua guy that he's on the Profesor. He's a cool guy, but I think because Atómico said some opinion about what was it? What's that music? That Boricua music from the past? That's reggaeton. Yeah. Atómico said that the Boricuas are all about the reggaetonazo, whatever. Like, I mean, it's basic stuff, but I guess my guy Miguelito took it too serious. I mean, he ain't my guy, but we're acquaintances. But you know, it's all good, man. It's internet. Don't take the internet seriously. I think that's what Atómico was trying to tell Miguelito, que, you know, tranquilos. And I didn't get it, man. But that was a good one. Yeah, they're all into the reggaeton. Reggaetonero, yeah, man. I forgot about reggaeton. I forgot about that music, to be honest. Oh yeah, pero I was telling Atómico que no sé, man. I don't know if Crawford's worth 100 million. I'm not in a position to say who deserves it or who should. I mean, porque I think everybody should steal the era. But oh, you know, ¿sabes qué? Nah, ¿sabes qué? I'm doing myself a disservice porque no. Mira, si el Crawford está pidiendo, if Crawford's asking for 100 million, then if Benavidez is asking for a lot and Zurdo's asking for a lot, the Saudis better pay up to the paisas too, man. That goes for Virgil Ortiz and Bam Rodriguez or lo que sea, man. Yo, if Crawford is doing it right now too, you guys better ask El Turkey también. You know? I can't really talk for Canelo, but Canelo's already been making a lot of money, man. So he's okay. And then Boxeo Domingo says, oh, so they're talking between each other. Yeah, man. Damn, I feel like talking in Spanish, but I guess some of my viewers might not know. But anyways, man. Oh yeah, and I was saying to others, for Atómico and Puro, que, you know, Teofimo Lopez, porque there's some good theory. There is theory, yes, that, I don't know if maybe Puro said it or Atómico said it or others. There's some other guys in other channels. They say it clearly and I respect it. Pero, you know, the Saudis, they only want American stars realistically for their geopolitics. I get it. Okay, so they're going to be in favor of El Shakur, El Crawford, ¿cuáles otros americanos ahorita que le están apoyando? I mean, I get it. I don't want to say the complexion because I don't want guys to get me wrong, and I don't mind it. I'm just saying, let everybody steal the Saudi money, man. Doesn't matter what color you are. If you're, you know, paisa or americano, man, just do your thing, you know? But anyways, there you go. What anybody else? Oye, I'm going to cut out here, man. I might do the one in Spanish ahorita porque I feel like talking in Spanish. I don't know if I have many viewers I got if I'm doing Spanish, pero let me do it in Spanish. I'll jump back in. Órale pues, man. A peace out, guys.